Write a YouTube news-style script for a channel called XRP Macro based on the article headline, "Will XRP Ripple hit $2 again in 2026?" with main bold headings at the start as voice, then the script below. The script must be in simple US English and should start the speech with a proper welcome line that includes the channel name. The content should be fully engaging and natural. Keep it natural, exciting, and informative while avoiding robotic or repetitive phrasing. The script should include a minimum of 15 paragraphs, each with at least 150 words, and it must not use any section titles or breaks. It should flow like one continuous news segment. No extra headings, no meta comments, no explanations. Start the response immediately with the script only. Now I am providing my own transcript below. Please rewrite it using the same headline and structure above. Keep the original tone, emotion, and YouTube-friendly style exactly the same. Improve flow, grammar, and sentence clarity without making it sound robotic or scripted. Add polish while still sounding like a real host is talking naturally. My transcript starts here. Apna complete article with headline Yahan paste Karen without images. Quick read. XRP last traded above $2 in January 2026 and has lost about half its value since then. Most analysts expect XRP to end 2026 above $2, with forecasts clustering between $2 and $4. The Clarity Act is XRP's main catalyst, as Standard Chartered estimates the bill's passage could push XRP ETF inflows to as high as $8 billion. XRP could hit $2 again this year if the Clarity Act passes, but the coin will likely trade between $1 and $1.50 if the bill is shelved into 2027. Don't wait. The analyst who called Nvidia in 2010 just revealed his top 10 AI stocks. See the full list, free now. XRP. Crypto. XRP remains one of the most popular cryptocurrencies in the world, but one thing has always held it back from the heights of Bitcoin or Ethereum: its price. XRP has never reached $4 and it has only traded above $3 in two periods, hitting $3.84 in the 2018 mania and $3.65 last July. Ripple has grown into one of the biggest companies in crypto, yet the token's value has never reflected the size of the network behind it. For XRP to start closing that gap, the price first needs to get back to $2, then $3, and eventually $4 and higher. That first step alone means a 77% climb, with the coin trading at $1.13 today. So what would it take for XRP to hit $2 again? XRP started 2026 with strong momentum, climbing to $2.41 in January. That was the high point, and it's been downhill from there. The XRP price slipped under $2 in February and kept falling until it reached $1.11. The coin then spent the whole first and second quarter trying to recover. XRP climbed back to the 1.50 level 4 times between February and May, but the bears turned back every rally attempt. By late June, the XRP price had sunk to around $1.03, and the token has now lost about half its value within 6 months. Don't wait. The analyst who called Nvidia in 2010 just revealed his top 10 AI stocks. See the full list, free now. All of this happened while the news around XRP was mostly good, which is the strange part. XRP spent early 2026 riding the momentum of its big 2025 wins that holders had waited years for, the SEC settlement and the launch of spot ETFs. But when that excitement wore off and the wider crypto market cooled, XRP handed those gains back. So the $2 price target isn't some far-off number that's difficult for XRP to chase. It's a level the token held at the start of the year and has been trying to climb back to ever since. The chances of the Clarity Act passing this year are now 50-50. Here's the most likely scenario for the crypto market in 2026. The odds of Congress passing the crypto regulation bill, the Clarity Act, are down to a coin toss. The bill would distinguish digital commodities and securities, and its fate will likely be decided in the next few weeks. When that happens, it will probably determine whether the crypto bear market ends this year or extends into 2027. Let S game out a couple of scenarios to describe what could happen. Missed Nvidia in 2009. This rare signal is flashing again. In 2009, a double-down signal flashed for a little-known chipmaker called Nvidia. For the first time in years, that same total conviction signal is flashing for a company 1/100th the size of Nvidia. What the bill does? Though they're much clearer than in yesteryear, US crypto rules today are a patchwork of enforcement actions and interpretive releases that a future administration could rewrite on a whim. The Clarity Act would create a framework and make it into statute, sorting tokens into 3 buckets. Digital commodities like Bitcoin, crypto, BTC, and Ethereum, crypto, ETH, to be regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. Fundraising tokens to be regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. And payment stablecoins to be overseen by banking regulators. Codifying those distinctions is the difference between whether a bank can custody an asset or whether it's too risky to touch from a compliance standpoint. The House cleared its version of the bill last July, and the Senate Banking Committee advanced its version on May 14th. If it isn't passed before the August recess, the path to passing it at all this year narrows to September and then to right after the midterms. There are 2 paths here. If the bill passes, expect a short-lived pop in crypto majors, followed by a much longer tailwind as a result of financial institutions onboarding more of their capital to blockchains and integrating more of their systems and activities with the crypto sector. The crypto bear market might even end overnight. In particular, real-world asset, RWA, tokenization. The process of putting treasuries, private credit, stocks, and many other types of asset on a blockchain as a crypto token for the purpose of trading or management has grown from about $12 billion in early July 2025 to nearly $32 billion today, all without a federal statute. Give institutional allocators that statute and there will likely be big inflows to the chains that are already leaders in tokenized assets like Ethereum, Solana, crypto, SOL, and XRP, crypto, XRP, among others. The inflows will likely coincide with the minting and onboarding of more stablecoin capital, which could then serve to stimulate the ecosystems of those leaders even further. Write a YouTube news-style script for a channel called XRP Macro based on the article headline, "Will XRP, Ripple, hit $2 again in 2026?" with main bold headings at the start as voice, then the script below. The script must be in simple US English and should start the speech with a proper welcome line that includes the channel name. The content should be fully engaging and natural. Keep it natural, exciting, and informative while avoiding robotic or repetitive phrasing. The script should include a minimum of 15 paragraphs, each with at least 150 words, and it must not use any section titles or breaks. It should flow like one continuous news segment. No extra headings, no meta comments, no explanations. Start the response immediately with the script only. XRP, crypto, XRP, is a favorite play among investors looking to get rich, but it probably shouldn't be. Given its market cap of $62 billion and its price of $1.04, turning a $10,000 stake in XRP into 7 figures of wealth would require the coin to reach roughly $104, putting its market cap above $6 trillion. That's larger than the combined market cap of every other cryptocurrency, and it almost certainly won't happen. So, with that in mind, let's turn to a more realistic question, namely whether XRP could still be a good tool for long-term wealth building. Missed Nvidia in 2009. This rare signal is flashing again. In 2009, a double-down signal flashed for a little-known chipmaker called Nvidia. For the first time in years, that same total conviction signal is flashing for a company 1/100th the size of Nvidia. As you probably know, transactions on the XRP ledger XRPL burn a sliver of XRP for every transaction as a fee. About 14 million XRP have been destroyed in this way since the chain's launch in 2012, or about 0.014% of its maximum supply as of Q1 2026. Unfortunately, that mechanism is nearly the entirety of XRP's ability to capture value for its holders. The only other mechanism is by the network's reserve requirements, which necessitate each wallet address holding at least 1 XRP plus 0.2 XRP more for each object held in the wallet. That makes it very hard to believe that there will ever be enough users or activity on the XRPL to meaningfully reduce the asset's float and force its price up for those who hold XRP. Nonetheless, activity on the chain is growing. Tokenized real-world asset (RWA) value rose 124% quarter-over-quarter in Q1 of 2026, and the volume of daily transactions is currently near 2.5 million. None of that constrains the coin supply, even if it's a positive development for the chain's health. Even a 100-fold activity surge would burn under 0.25% of the supply yearly, and Ripple, XRP's issuer, unlocks 1 billion XRP from escrow each month. Even after relocking 60% to 80% of the XRP released, the net supply addition still swamps the cumulative burns. So why hold any? So, at the moment, there isn't a strong case for holding XRP for wealth building, nor is it a millionaire maker, but it could still gain in value if, on average, investors overlook its tokenomics issues, and there is at least a little bit of evidence that's happening. Spot XRP exchange-traded funds, ETFs, have pulled in $1.4 billion since their November 2025 launch, and, surprisingly, despite the ongoing crypto bear market, the ETFs have continued to see net capital inflows over time rather than outflows. If that trend continues, it could eventually support higher prices. XRP, crypto, XRP, fell by 22% in the 30-day period ending on June 30th, with nothing in the way of bad news to speak of. But that decline may be in its last days, so let's take a look at what the historical data suggests for XRP's next move. Missed Nvidia in 2009. This rare signal is flashing again. In 2009, a double-down signal flashed for a little-known chipmaker called Nvidia. For the first time in years, that same total conviction signal is flashing for a company 1/100th the size of Nvidia. Continue. June's bad reputation is well earned. Going back to 2014, June has long been XRP's worst month for returns, with the median result being a decline of 8.8%. 7 of the last 10 Junes saw the coin lose value, most of the time without any major bearish news breaking. In other words, if history is any guide, there's no reason for holders to panic about the recent decline.